Most people think violence is random. It's not. There's a pattern. And once you can spot it, you can stop it before it starts. If someone wants to attack you, they have to have the intent, the capability, and the opportunity. And if you can deny one element of that triangle, you'll be better able to defend yourself. You'll be the boss. So let's take a deep dive into the psychology of aggressive behavior. Because once you understand their intention, and then you can deny the opportunity, regardless whether they have the capability to harm you, it's not going to happen. So keep watching. The easiest way to frame this is what drives aggressive behavior. Well, let's break it down into 5 areas. First, cold calculation. Some men choose to be violent. These are predators. They size you up, and if they think you're weak, they have a go. Some people just simply make the choice to be violent. What they do is they calculate the risks of their actions. They work out whether you're an easy target. Are you going to be a tough fight? That's the primary thing that they think about. How easy can they control you, beat you, or dominate you? Because ultimately, these guys are predators. They look for easy targets. And in this sense, whether it's social violence or criminal violence, there's a rational choice behind the behavior and also the selection of the victim. Now, most of the time we talk about crime and people switch off, but it also relates to ego-based violence as well. I don't know anyone who wants to go into a fight to lose. Nobody steps out of their door, puffs up their chest, or steps in front of their mates to have a go at someone that they know they're going to lose that fight. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to look small in front of your mates. So people will make a rational choice on who they're going to throw hands with. I mean, it's one thing to stick your chest out and get loud, but it's another thing to throw hands. Second, when violence is learned, passed down and glorified. In some groups, fighting isn't the last resort, it's the culture. In many places around the world, there's a culture to violence. Football hooligans, classic example. Gang affiliations, another example. These are subcultures of violent behavior in which actions and types of violence are passed down from person to person within a group. And it's quite often in-group versus out-group violence, even perspectives. You see, everybody aligns themselves to a group, and anyone external to your group you see as an aggressor. And in that sense, it's very easy to have values that are centered to your group. Certain violent behaviors that are acceptable within your group. And worse yet, if you come into contact with someone from another rival group or a protagonist, it's only going to accelerate the level of aggression. So culture has a major impact. Third, the power of an audience. Ego takes over. A man with something to prove in front of his mates is 10 times more dangerous. Social influence. Now this is similar to culture, but social influence goes wider. It's much more with managing your image. It's that classic guy that's trying to act tough in front of his girlfriend or his family or his mates. And this is a form of social influence, but it can have a drastic effect on the level of violence and the intensity of violence that you may face. How far that person's willing to go, what they're willing to do. Is this the guy that to impress his mates won't back down, but then goes Hulk crazy angry because he has to manage that impression to be tough in front of his friends and family? So to a certain degree, social influence is a key part of the intensity of violence. On the one hand, it could be people directly influencing your behavior, but then on the other one, it could be more internal, in which you are subconsciously being influenced by the people around you. Fourth, the situation itself flips the switch. When it's personal, when family is involved, people will go to the extreme. The context of violence often leads to the intensity of violence. You can imagine that you're defending a member of your family, your child, for example. That may lead to red hot anger and a higher level of intensity of action. The point being that whenever we looked at an act of violence, we have to consider the context of the act. And that often gives us an understanding of the person's intention, capability, and the opportunity. So understanding the context of a violent encounter gives us a better opportunity for our self-defense. It's much more realistic. It's outside of the dojo, but more importantly, it helps you understand how you can negate opportunity, deal with their capability, but most importantly, understand their intent, because intent is dangerous. Fifth, the most obvious, but the most dangerous, red hot emotion. This is when someone flips in a second and swings before they think. Now, we've all seen it. Someone gets angry, their emotions take over, and straight away they want to punch you in the face. It's that guy that you bump into or you step on his trainers and wants to smack you in the face. He sees red and he goes insane. He goes Hulk mode on you. That's that emotional outburst. Some people call it rage. But you have to consider what's driving their behavior is their emotions, that red mist. So what's the takeaway? Well, ultimately for self-defense, it's much more complicated than just simply throwing hands. If you can understand someone's intent and their capability towards violence and then deny them the opportunity, then you're always going to be streets ahead in your self-defense. Thanks for watching.